In the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. All great literature is one of two stories: a man goes on a journey or a stranger comes to town. You can love a person dear to you with a human love, but an enemy can only be loved with divine love. But the law of loving others could not be discovered by reason, because it is unreasonable. To get rid of an enemy one must love him. Whatever our fate is or may be, we have made it and do not complain of it. Every lie is a poison, there are no harmless lies. Only the truth is safe. Only the truth gives me consolation, it is the one unbreakable diamond. If you make it a habit not to blame others, you will feel the growth of the ability to love in your soul, and you will see the growth of goodness in your life. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. If you look for perfection, you'll never be content. It is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. Respect was invented to cover the empty place where love should be. If you want to be happy, be. Spring is the time of plans and projects. Is it really possible to tell someone else what one feels? When you love someone, you love the person as they are, and not as you'd like them to be. Nothing is so necessary for a young man as the company of intelligent women. Love. The reason I dislike that word is that it means too much for me, far more than you can understand. Be bad, but at least don't be a liar, a deceiver. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. All the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow. There is no greatness where there is not simplicity, goodness, and truth. Happiness does not depend on outward things, but on the way we see them. It's much better to do good in a way that no one knows anything about it. The best stories don't come from good versus bad, but good versus good. If you love me as you say you do, she whispered, make it so that I am at peace. True life is lived when tiny changes occur. A man is like a fraction whose numerator is what he is and whose denominator is what he thinks of himself. The larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. The whole world is divided for me into two parts, one is she, and there is all happiness, hope, light, the other is where she is not, and there is dejection and darkness. What counts in making a happy marriage is not so much how compatible you are, but how you deal with incompatibility. I often think that men don't understand what is noble and what is ignorant, though they always talk about it. I simply want to live, to cause no evil to anyone but myself. Which is worse? The wolf who cries before eating the lamb or the wolf who does not? Because of the self-confidence with which he had spoken, no one could tell whether what he said was very clever or very stupid. Music is the shorthand of emotion. Instead of going to Paris to attend lectures, go to the public library, and you won't come out for 20 years, if you really wish to learn. Everything intelligent is so boring. There are no conditions to which a person cannot grow accustomed, especially if he sees that everyone around him lives in the same way. Happiness is an allegory, unhappiness a story. God is the same everywhere. Historians are like deaf people who go on answering questions that no one has asked them. The only absolute knowledge attainable by man is that life is meaningless. The kingdom of God is within you. There is something in the human spirit that will survive and prevail. There is a tiny and brilliant light burning in the heart of man that will not go out no matter how dark the world becomes. Pure and complete sorrow is as impossible as pure and complete joy. In the best, the friendliest and simplest relations flattery or praise is necessary, just as grease is necessary to keep wheels turning. To educate the peasantry, 3 things are needed: schools, schools and schools. Happy families are all alike, every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. You see, if you take pains and learn in order to get a reward, the work will seem hard, but when you work, if you love your work, you will find your reward in that. There is only one enduring happiness in life: to live for others. The truth is obtained like gold, not by letting it grow bigger, but by washing off from it everything that isn't gold. Wrong does not cease to be wrong because the majority share in it. If we admit that human life can be ruled by reason, then all possibility of life is destroyed. It's all God's will. You can die in your sleep, and God can spare you in battle. Man cannot possess anything as long as he fears death. But to him who does not fear it, everything belongs. If there was no suffering, man would not know his limits, would not know himself. If there was no suffering, man would not know his limits, would not know himself. Everything I know because of love. It's hard to love a woman and do anything. If so many men, so many minds, certainly so many hearts, so many kinds of love. Everything comes in time to him who knows how to wait. Remember then, there is only one time that is important: now. It is the most important time because it is the only time when we have any power.